This is an SBS-TV special report. Now, Alex Almanza and Bernardo Malone.
Hello, Michiana. Welcome to SBS-TV News. I'm Alex Almanza.
I'm Bernardo Malone.
And we're following continuing coverage of event cancellations right here in the Michiana area, just a week after President Trump declared a national emergency.
And we also do want to point out that our regular studios is unavailable at this time, so we're in a different location today.
As South Bend Community School Corporation ordered all schools to close until further notice, but we did receive more information that the governor is closing schools till May 1st. So we do promise to bring you the most accurate and vital information as we learn it. This is a time when America is tested, and in these dark times, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Just know that as a strong Michiana community, we're going to get through this together.
New developments: South Bend Mayor James Miller issued a travel watch yesterday, which also means that residents can only travel for work, food, groceries, and doctor visits.
But traveling to visit friends or going to other places where people congregate is now no longer allowed. What's important right now is that we work to slow the spread of COVID-19 in our community, and by avoiding unnecessary travel, you can play a role in protecting the vulnerable members and our vulnerable neighbors.
That watch will remain in effect until further notice.
As schools across the country close their doors in preparation for the coronavirus outbreak, South Bend school officials are hard at work ensuring students adjust well to e-learning. SBS-TV's Bernardo Malone reports.
Hi everyone, I'm Todd Cummings, Superintendent of South Bend Schools. I wanted to pause and talk a little bit about our plans for this upcoming week.
On Sunday night, Dr. Cummings, Superintendent for South Bend Schools, wrote out plans for dealing with COVID-19, which impacted local schools across the nation, so students have to move over to e-learning. But what does that mean for students? Riley High School senior Trenton is worried about his final months of high school due to COVID-19.
I'm not sure if the state or Todd for the school corporation says that it's going to cover for our days of absence. If not, or we have to make it up. Having issues with doing homework, and sometimes this new schedule and is causing a lot of terror and panic around the place. They have the system for the e-learning, and just try to do the assignments to see if they got that turned in.
We put things in place, but it never works until you actually do it. And so I think there's a lot of just unknown and questions about, well, how is this going to look, or how am I going to grade this, and how am I going to hold kids accountable to this? It's just the unknown. And so there's a lot of news that's coming out, a lot of information that's coming out, just telling us about the different things that it can do to the body and how it affects the body, both young and old. As a principal, my role is to remain calm and to be as transparent as possible, never to put fear in any of our students.
Wi-Fi school buses are now one new approach to help students without access at home get connected.
So we started that this summer, not knowing that we were going to be parking them in neighborhoods. And so on our website is a hotspot map in South Bend where you can get free web access, but also we're going to create a map of where we're going to park those 20 buses over the next however long we're closed, so that we rotate that every single family and student has access to the internet.
Very excited to be a part of this historic moment of making sure that our teachers, our staff, bus drivers, everybody's paid during this time off. This is beyond everybody's control, so we need to make sure that we take care of our South Bend Community School Corporation family.
We really don't know ultimately how it's affecting us so far, because it hasn't climaxed yet. Affecting everybody. There are parents that are used to their kids being at school while they're at work, and so they've had to make a transition from school to finding different babysitters and trying to find more funding. Mixing that with a lot of people losing their jobs right now or being temporarily laid off because of places closing due to the virus. I think that the community needs to remain calm right now and wait until we know what exactly it is that's happening.
Spring sports may be canceled for now, but that could all change, according to Athletic Director at Riley High School, C.B. Gavin.
Just want to make sure that all our coaches and all our families understand that this is very important to us, because student athletes are very important to us. And I just want all our families and all our coaches to understand that as soon as we get information, we pass it on. I'm monitoring my emails, I'm monitoring the Twitter, I'm monitoring all information coming from the IDOE, the IHSAA, from Dr. Cummings and his staff, and also monitoring the St. Joe County Health Department.
Reporter for SBS-TV News, I'm Bernardo Malone.
People are reviewing their life exposures and wondering whether or not could pets carry this virus or could themselves get sick. SBS-TV talked to a local vet to learn more.
So coronavirus is receiving a lot of notoriety right now, and justifiably so. It is a serious health risk for humans. We need to make certain that we are doing everything that we can from a human health standpoint to slow the virus spread. The concern has been about pets and whether pets can get this virus, and it's good news that they cannot. The detail is that in Hong Kong, a dog was diagnosed or found to have the virus in the nasal passages and the respiratory passages. The dog went into quarantine. The dog lived with a person who had coronavirus, and the concern then was whether dogs could actually get this virus or not. No other dogs have shown up with this, and there's no information on cats being any more susceptible to it. It is much like in a smoker's house. You will find smoke particles in the nasal passages of dogs and cats that live there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they are smokers. If you have an infection with the coronavirus, the new version that is out, while there is no evidence that it is transmissible to pets nor pets to people, prudence says use good hygiene. Limit the amount of contact that you have with your pets, just so that there is no intense exposure from anything that might be questionable. But the other thing is to make certain that as you are taking care of your own health, you are also making plans for who takes care of the pets if, for instance, you have to go to the hospital or have advanced care of some sort. I think it's important at times like this that everybody realize that information is the real powerful thing. Not rumors, not worry, not stress. This is a time to know what you can know, be smart about your exposures, practice good hygiene techniques. This shall pass.
A teenager's website tracking coronavirus has become one of the most vital resources for people seeking accurate and updated numbers on the pandemic. Meet Abby Schiffman, a 17-year-old high school student on a mission to keep us informed.
Yeah, I started this website around Christmas of last year, and I mean the main goal of it was to provide just an easy way to see the straight facts and the data, you know, without having to make a website that was biased or, you know, full of ads or anything like that. So I mean, you can like go on a phone and just instantly see the quick facts. You can see the total amount of cases, the total deaths, and you know, all that kind of information, and you can get that for individual countries and now U.S. states too, and all kinds of things. So I didn't want to make it hard. You know, you shouldn't have to go through government websites and download like a daily PDF that's probably out of date by the time you read it.
A link to his website can be found below. Stores across the nation are fighting to keep ahead of demand for many household necessities. David Saleh brings us an update from one local Walmart retailer.
Hello, I'm David Saleh with SBS-TV News, and I'm here at the local South Bend Walmart. And right now I'm going to be going over how the coronavirus has been affecting our local community.
We're limiting the amount of stuff, the high item stuff, the toilet paper, the milk, eggs, and things like that, so that it's fair for everybody to at least get something.
I think people should react to it just like a normal virus, which people should just, stop buying a lot of the stuff, give the stores more time to restock on their items.
We really don't have to get that much food to, like they restock every day and stuff, so why do you have to go out there and grab all that food and stuff from others, you know?
There's no shortage of supplies, no shortage of food. Even though the supermarket, your local supermarket might be empty.
Walmart closes at 11 o'clock each night, not only to restock, but to conduct a thorough cleaning.
We're actually putting together a cleaning crew that all they're going to do when they come in at night is do nothing but clean. I know at night when we close down, since we're closing early, we're cleaning all the registers every night, making sure that it stays clean and fresh for the customers. That way we're at least eliminating germs that way.
We should blame the media for this, because the media is making it seem like we're running out of food, running out of toilet paper, and people just freaking out for no reason.
Stay strong, stick together, we're gonna make it.
For SBS TV, I'm David Saleh.
Family-owned businesses are taking the hardest hit amid the crisis. SBS-TV Alex Almanza talked to one local restaurant owner who says he's unsure of what the future holds.
Business unusual. Signs like these are the new normal for many small family-owned businesses across America. Many restaurants now forced to cease all dine-in activity. Now, owners are struggling to find answers in a time of uncertainty. Some not even worried about the virus itself, rather, the aftermath of the storm.
Sooner or later, everybody realizes this is a big thing, it's a big deal.
That's the voice of one local restaurant owner who wishes to stay anonymous, who says that in times like these, he believes if everyone does their part by not engaging in large social gatherings and staying inside as much as possible will help slow the spread of the virus, which means businesses like his don't have to suffer the damaging effects of this pandemic.
I told my employees to stay home for at least 15 days until the further notice from the government.
Just this past week, Indiana Governor Eric Holcomb ordered all dine-in restaurants to close their doors until at least the end of the month. Although restaurants are allowed to do carry-out and delivery options. The problem with the outbreak is the number of people that have been officially diagnosed are only the ones who received a test, which means for every one person affected, there are at least 5 people who that patient came in contact with who don't even know they have the coronavirus. Many show little to no symptoms at all and are quietly fueling the pandemic.
We'll get through it. We'll get through this storm.
Reporting in South Bend, I'm Alex Almanza, SBS-TV News. Now, many small mom-and-pop shops, unfortunately, in this crisis, they're just going to have to close. People are just going to go without pay, and businesses are going to close. But, many restaurants are now having to accommodate to delivery and carry-out. What are some of your favorite restaurants that you've seen have done that already?
Well, one of my favorite restaurants is local restaurant Linden Grill. I'll usually go there and just sit down, get some chicken wings or something like that. But now that they are closed for only takeout orders, I don't know what to do because I don't like taking my food out. Yeah. It's just the air.
It's very different, right. So we do have more information on how businesses can recuperate after this crisis. There's more information in the link below to how you can help your business amid this crisis. In times like these, there is some hope as one restaurant here in Michiana is getting creative with the way they serve their customers.
I own Pizza Transit. We've been open for this year will be 33 years. We're downtown Niles, and it's definitely impacted everything a little bit. As you can kind of see, our dining room doesn't look the way it would usually look, but we're still doing really well. Our customers are still coming in a lot. We started doing pizza kits so people can take home their own ingredients and make a pizza. We've had a huge response from that. People are driving from all over and buying tons of them and even posting pictures of them making their pizza with their kids on our Facebook page. We're sanitizing everything 24/7, We've always been very clean, but definitely taking those extra steps to clean all the door handles and, cleaning our counter all the time and just making sure, if anyone seems sick at all, they're definitely not coming to work and just doing our best to make sure everyone can still kind of have that little piece of normalcy, enjoying their pizza and feeling safe doing it. Most people are staying open, so that's been really good. I went to Gabrizio around the corner and got my, coffee and pastry today, and I know Jim's over at Paris, he's open. El Amigo Pepe is doing their food truck down at the river today. So people are kind of getting creative with doing stuff. I know the Brass Eye can't serve drinks right now, but they're doing to-go stuff and their homemade ramen they do to-go. And so I think everyone's kind of getting creative and working together, and we're all making sure to get the word out about who's open and who's doing what. So it's really brought everyone together a lot, and I think we're all going to be okay.
And thank you to Pizza Transit for feeding our news team, our skeleton news team that we have here. It's not the whole full-fledged team, but we're making it work. So pretty good food, pretty good pizza. Well, coming up on SBS TV News, our special correspondent from abroad describes what it's like to be part of a global pandemic. We'll be right back after this.
You're watching SBS TV News, South Bend.
Hi, I'm Max Brooks. I'm 47 years old. This is my dad, Mel Brooks. Hi, Dad. He's 93. If I get the coronavirus, I'll probably be okay. But if I give it to him, he could give it to Carl Reiner, who could give it to Dick Van Dyke, and before I know it, I've wiped out a whole generation of comedic legends. When it comes to coronavirus, I have to think about who I can infect, and so should you. So practice social distancing. Avoid crowds, wash your hands, keep 6 feet away from people, and if you've got the option to stay home, just stay home. Do your part, don't be a spreader. Right, Dad? Go home. I'm going. Go. Love you.
Earlier this week, we spoke with South Bend exchange students about the virus in their own countries and what it means for their stay here in the U.S.
My name is Shahir Abro. I'm an exchange student from Pakistan, and about the coronavirus that's been going. So recently, when we heard we closed the flights from China, but we didn't know it could come from Iran. The first case that came to my city. And my city is the largest city in Pakistan and one of the most crowded city in Pakistan. The case came from Iran, and we didn't expect that. But we closed the flights from Iran too. So it jumped really fast from 1 to 3 cases, 3 to 15 cases. Now this right now, as of currently I'm speaking, is more than 106 cases.
My name is Max. I'm from Kyrgyzstan. What I heard about the virus. So I don't really know much information, but I know that people, they buy a lot of grocery, like in the USA, a lot of toilet paper and this stuff, But I think we don't have a lot of cases. It's probably more than 100.
My exchange program is YES program, and the YES program has 14 or more organizations that control placements of exchange students around the United States. And so my organization is STS Foundation. And recently, the CBYX program, the Germany students from CBYX program, they were called back to their country, and I'm not sure, they haven't met the call yet to call us back yet. Many of the countries are still on hold, and right now we are not going back, we are still here.
I came here with the Flex exchange program, so 1 week ago I received an email from my program, so they told me that I can go back in Kyrgyzstan right now, and I will be Flex alumni, so I have choice to go back home, but my real parents from Kyrgyzstan, they told me that I should stay.
I mean, being in America with this virus, I mean, I feel pretty safe. I'm more likely to get a better treatment here than in Pakistan, but I'm also worried about what's going back on because of the people, the family.
Maybe I'll start thinking to go back home after that, if the school will close for a month, so I think maybe I'll go home, probably. But.
Our international correspondent Fabio Santos, who is a tutor in Portugal, brings a report on the conditions in his country after the president announced a state of emergency Wednesday night.
Hello, my name is Fabio Santos and I'm from Porto in Portugal, and currently in Europe things are very chaotic because the coronavirus has been spreading everywhere. In my country we've been having over 450 cases, that's the latest update, and the new number of cases in the past few days has been increasing exponentially. Fortunately, our government had some very proactive measures trying to prevent the spread of the virus. Schools are closed now and people are recommended to be home and try to self-quarantine the next couple weeks or even a month. I think those preventive measures are going to help flatten that curve and make sure our health system doesn't crash because of a big number of people getting infected all at once. Actually, I just went to the grocery store for the first time since this all started, and there's a line, first thing, people have to wait, and there's a certain number of people that can be at the store at once, so there's a line before you enter it. And when you go there, you can see by the images, canned goods are all gone, and if you go to the meat section, there's almost no meat there. We were actually very fortunate because the butcher there was kind enough to actually let us use something that he has saved up for himself. Also, another thing that is really gone is toilet paper. I think we see that all over the world. There's no toilet paper anywhere. The border with Spain is closed right now. Our leaders met up a couple days ago and they decided to close it for I think it's a month or something like that. So we're really trying to prevent people from circling everywhere and spreading the virus with their friends and colleagues. So there are some positive things coming here from Portugal, and fortunately we have learned from other countries and are now ready to take on the virus.
Coming up after the break, universities are transitioning to online instruction. See the struggle some teachers and students are having.
You're watching SBS-TV News, South Bend.
All right, now get inside and wash your hands.
Wet your hands with clean water. Lather up with soap to get all those bubbles working. Scrub to get all those germs off your hands. And don't stop until you sing happy birthday to yourself twice. Rinse so your hands are sparkling clean. Dry your hands with a clean towel or air dry. So what are you waiting for?
All right, I'll wash my hands.
Developing now, most colleges across America adjusting to what may be a new normal. Universities have sent students home and moved completely to online classes. Nonetheless, students and even some teachers are having a hard time keeping up.
It's not the type of spring break students and staff expected. The COVID-19 virus has caused colleges and universities across the United States to cease classroom instruction and move entirely online. Locally, schools that have closed include Indiana University South Bend, the University of Notre Dame, and Southwestern Michigan College. The swift decision to move classes online will help slow the virus's spread, but it has also brought challenges to instructors and students.
I'm a student at Southwestern Michigan College, and we've switched entirely to online schooling. It's giving me a little bit of trouble kind of transitioning between like actual instruction to all just emails this, emails that. All of my friends are confused. We're not really sure what the assignments are. You know, in part, it's just due to, I think, even the teachers are kind of, you know, clueless at what to do. I mean, we're clueless.
Check your email, check Moodle, reach out. You know, our faculty and staff have made a Herculean effort to move things online and will continue to support you. But what we need you to do is stay engaged. If something comes up and you can't see a person, use one of these 3 emails.
On Wednesday, it was announced that a Notre Dame student who recently returned from London tested positive for the coronavirus and is self-quarantined and under medical care.
You know, I'm nervous. I'm worried for the student and the student's family, obviously, but it also kind of, you know, dispels any thought of going back on April 13th. I was really kind of hoping that school would open back up this semester and we could finish things out. But if there's a confirmed case out of college that's like really close, I kind of doubt that we're going to be opening up.
Again, it's going to take all of us looking out for each other to get through this time.
I think we're going to get through it. It's just going to take a lot of, you know, just trial and error.
This is Tim Richardson reporting for SBS-TV.
Now, our schools are closed until May 1st, and some students are wondering what's going to happen with prom, what's going to happen with graduation. Have you received any information from Mr. Henderson about that?
Yes, actually today Mr. Henderson sent out an email to all of the seniors because a lot of people is worried about graduation, prom, and all the things that come with graduation.
Right.
And for myself, I'm worried about just walking across that stage come May.
Right, and I mean that's a true worry for some people. So we do advise you to, if your principal has not sent out info on that, kindly ask about that. I mean, there might be information. There's some still hope, as like you said, they're trying their best to make sure that graduation, prom, things like that happen. So, right.
Before we end the show, take a look at this. In Italy, residents are in isolation and are no longer allowed to leave their homes, but that doesn't stop them from being creative. People stood outside of apartment balconies to join in on singing, dancing, and even some instrument playing.
Wow, that's very wonderful. Well, and that does it for this edition of SBS TV News.
We wish you the best of luck and that you and your families stay safe.
For Bernardo and the rest of the SBS TV News team, we'll see you soon.